What's going on, everybody? BC Dodge coming back right now at you. Like I usually say, pseudo live here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Twitter, wherever you're digesting my videos. Here I am. So listen, today I'm going to reveal what I consider to be a little bit of a dark secret about myself. And there's a reason for that. Because, and I know it's not going to be as dark as, so anybody that's tuning in watching this thinking, ooh, yeah, get over yourself, it's not that big of a deal. But the reason I want to share this is because I've been hearing a lot lately about Juno and vaping and kids doing it in high school and, sneaking it in the bathroom and stuff like that. And so the first thing I want to say is that you shouldn't smoke. You just really shouldn't smoke. I remember when my son was super young, I took him to see his pediatrician, and he was older in age, maybe 12, 13. And I remember the doctor asked him, the doctor said, "Does your dad smoke?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the doctor says, "You ever seen your dad try to quit?" And the doctor was like, "Yeah." Or the son was like, "Yeah." And the doctor said, it's because now we're finding out that cigarettes are more addictive than heroin. So don't start smoking because it's way more difficult to quit than you would think. And the doctor was 100% right. Now, I want to preface this with I smoked for 7 years, and then I quit for 6 or 7 years, and then I started again when I was going through a really emotional time in my life. But all of that being said, I actually ended up, I was in a meeting one day, and this was about probably a year and a half ago, and I got called into my boss's office after the meeting, and my boss said, "Hey, she was real nice about it. It was just awkward for me, but it was really, she was very pleasant about it, but she's like, 'You smell. You smoke, you smell.'" And she was right. I know that cigarette smell leaves a lingering odor, and the meeting space was really small, and some of my teammates were complaining. Totally legit. Totally got it. So shortly after that, I went and I actually switched to the vape pen, like kids are using, and kids shouldn't smoke. Your brains are still developing, you're still growing, your brains are still changing, whatever. But I actually ended up switching to my vape pen, and mine's really rough. You can see like the paint's been worn off it and stuff. I've been using it for a little while, but I haven't had a cigarette since last November. But and when I stopped smoking, my hands were actually turning yellow from the nicotine, and my teeth had a spot from the cigarettes on it, and my clothes did smell. And so I ended up switching to my vape pen, and mind you, I'm well over 18, and for anybody that thought otherwise, thank you. But kids shouldn't smoke because their brains are still developing, and they don't need this extra chemicals in their brain. Their brains are still trying to expand and figure out the wiring. But for people like me who tried forever to get off of cigarettes, and it was obviously interrupting my work area. I was going outside and smoking. I wasn't sitting at my desk and doing it. But I smelled. It was on my clothes. And like I said, my teeth, my skin. And for people like me that were able to give up the cigarettes for this alternative that doesn't smell, that doesn't bother people, and to be honest, there's a list of ingredients that comes with the liquid inside that I can read and that I understand. Vegetable oil, salt, nicotine, flavoring. I understand that stuff. You can't understand the list of ingredients on a pack of cigarettes. I'm saying this because vape should be regulated. Kids shouldn't have access to it. But for those of us that are using it, and for those of us that are not smoking cigarettes, You got to give us a little leeway. Have a little faith for us, please. And my 5 minutes are up. If you want, comment below, and I will expand on this in another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.